right. Just starting my instance. So today, actually, we will try to finish the Linux part. Okay, so we have few topics here to discuss. So first, we will discuss a few commands which we have not discussed as far as, and then we will go to the shell script part where I will show you few shell script by writing. And then we will see basically how we can write the shell script, okay, and how we can execute the shell script as well. So shell script you will require basically for automation. Okay, so that's one. Let's just wait for a minute.
Sir, Linux and shell scripting is different, sir.
No, it's same. So
Okay.
you just need to write thing. The thing is, you have to write the shell script in Linux only with the Linux commands. But
Okay.
the instead of running single command, you are writing basically the bunch of commands, one file. That's called shell script.
Okay. Okay.
We'll see that.
Okay. Yeah.
Just let me access to this. Okay. So right now we are inside the VM. Okay. And here we will first we will see few commands which we have not discussed till now, and then we will come to the shell script part where we will see few environment variables and all. Okay. So coming to this command part again, let me show you few commands. So let's say I have this Linux machine, okay, and we have discussed few points already. But right now there will be some process which will be running. And what is this what do you mean by process? So process is nothing but it's like a task, okay, whatever you perform. Let's say you are using your Windows system, and what you have done, just uh, started your system, and after starting of the system, you just try to delete or create the files or folders, anything. Okay, so this is called task, and this particular task would have particular process ID. So process ID means there is a process. There are multiple process which would be running in your system, the backend or foreground mode, in both the mode. Okay. So how you manage those processes in Linux, and even how you check the process. Okay. So to check the processes in Linux, first let me come to this root. Okay, so right now I'm in the root. Now let me try to check basically how many processes are running. So the command is ps. Just type ps. It will show you the process, how what are the processes are running. So there are three things here. One is process ID, that is called PID. Second is TTY, that is terminal, where this process is running, terminal. Okay, terminal ID and terminal. And the time and CMD. So whatever the command you are running, that is the some command line, and time whenever you are running. So this is called processes. Okay, you want to check, if you want to check all the processes, so you can just use icon A option, so it will show you all the processes. Okay, and let's say you don't know what are the options are available with this ps command. So as I said earlier, we have main command. So main command will show you what is this ps is. So ps command we basically use to display the information about the selection of the active processes. And if you want a repetitive update of the selection and display the information, you can use top command. We will see that what about top is. But right now we are just checking. We are not checking actually on repetitive update. We are not continuously checking. So we are just checking it one time. Okay, that's why we are using ps command here. There is a one more important note here is This version of PS accept several kind of options. So either you can use Unix BSD options and GNU. You can ignore it right now. But the thing is, this is the command PS-AUX. So what is this option AU and X? What is this option is? So they here A means all, U means Unix sockets, okay, and S basically it represents the users. If you have any particular users, it won't actually it will show you the processes which are running by the users. Okay, so you can also see there are a few more commands. So if you run this ps-e command, ps-ef, ps-e capital F. So all these commands can be used to see every process on the system using these commands, and see every process on the system using BSD syntax. So you can run these commands, and if you want to get in a tree format, you can run these commands. So there are actually, this is a good page which you can scroll up, scroll down, and you can see all these options are there. So P basically PID list, PID list. Okay. Let's say I don't want to use this main command. I want to use ps-help. Help is another command which can help you to see what are the options are there. So ps-hyphen help. Okay. So let me just try to run this ps. Oh, so I think this, okay. So we are getting this help command can't be run with this directly commands. So we have to use this main k and ps. Let me try to paste it. Main k ps. So it will show you all these options with this, whatever the options are available. You can see this is Google Cloud one. Yeah, this is a long list here, but yeah. So what I'm gonna do here, so let me use AUX. So it will show you all these processes which is running by the root user. So user is root right now. I have logged in to the root user. And remember this thing, any system which has root user would have PID 1. So this root user has PID 1. And also you can see how much CPU or memory are being utilized by this user, and what is the command actually are being running, okay, for this user. So right now you are seeing multiple commands here, but you can ignore it right now because we are not running these all. Okay, so these are the processes which are running in the background. So whenever you create any system, these are all processes which will be running in the background. So you will not get all these processes right now. You will also not understand. Okay, and I will also not try to get you. I also don't want you to, just get these processes all at the same time. So right now we can just see these all, like what I did. Let me create one. Let me run one command. Okay. So let's say I just try to create a file1.txt, and I just use ampersand here. Ampersand here. So you can see here, I used ampersand, means it is running in the background. Okay, ampersand. This is the second, and this is the ID for this process. Let me try to get this ID. See this 1 plus. So it means this is terminal where I'm running it, and this is the command which I'm running. Okay, so let's say I just want to check all. So it is done. That's why it is showing done. And now it is not in the list. And you can see right now the file is created. There is a one command, slip command. Okay. So let me see. Slip means your system will slip or for us 30 seconds. Let me see. And ampersand. So right now, if I check the process here, PSI connect, you will see this in the list slip. So this process ID, P process ID means 1309. This is the process ID for this process, for this command. And what I'm running here, slip command. After 30 seconds, you will see that it will be removed from it because the task will be done. So just wait. See this? It's gone. It's showing me done because it's done. 30 seconds means it is just a command which will what we do, it will slip for 30 seconds. After completing 30 seconds, it will be done. Okay, so this is how, I mean, we can just see how the process works. Okay, now there is a one more important thing which I want to tell you here. So let's say there are few processes are there, and this is the process ID for these all processes. Let's say I want to manually kill that process. So how can I delete or kill that process? So there is a command kill. Okay, kill, and then you can use process ID. So what is, let's say, let me run again this slip command again for you, and let's say this time 60 seconds I'm thinking. So for 60 seconds it will run, and the process ID, what is the process ID? 1323. And let's see this process ID as well. So right now this is my process, and this is running with this slip command, and it will run for 60 seconds. But meanwhile, what I'll do, I'll just try to kill this process, okay, manually. So let me use kill command. Either you can use this 121323. This is the process ID. So if I try to do that, you can see again it is terminated. So right now the state has changed. So earlier the state was running, but right now it is now showing terminated because I have forcefully terminated it. And how to terminate? Kill command is the got it. So kill is the command which you use to kill the process, particular process. So your process has not completed. Mean in middle of that running, you have just terminated that, or we have just terminated it, right? So there is one more option which you can use with kill -9, and this is called forcefully deleting. So let's say there is a one process which is being running, and this ps command. Okay, so ps command is still it is running, right? Let me try to run some other command. Let's say I want to check the date. How do you check the date in Linux command? So date is the command. So let's say date. So what is the date here? It's a Monday, June 17, and this is the time you decided. So it's showing me the time here. And date command basically will show you the particular date and time both. Okay, so there is no specific date time or time command or something. You can just use date command to see the date and time both. Okay, let's say you want to check the calendar as. So I can use cal command. So cal command basically is the command which will show you the calendar. Sometimes this is just basic command, and I'm not sure you will get this command in your real-time environment or not, but you should aware about these commands. So date and cal command basically will show you the date and time and cal. And even you can change the date if you don't want in the UTC, you want in IST something. So you can change that as well. This is a different task, but here it will just show you the current date and time, whatever your system is using. Okay. Now, processes you understood, and how to terminate the processes. Let me see. Now process. Let me see that. So right now there is no process running because I'm not running in. Okay. So you understood how we run in the background and foreground. So if you want to run in the foreground, you don't need to use anything here. So likewise, I just run it on the background. So it will be running in the foreground. So right now you can't actually execute any other commands until it completes. Okay, so that's the reason. 60 seconds means you have to wait for 60 seconds. Once it will be completed, then only you can run another commands on this terminal. So if this terminal actually it's allocated to this process. So this process is being used by this terminal, and once this process will be completed, your terminal get free, and then you can run another commands to this terminal. Got it. So ampersand you can use if you want to run in the background. That's an very useful you know options we have. Okay, so now it's completed. It means we can run now this time we can run another commands. System. Right. So understood, right? How to check the processes, how to build the processes, how to check the date command, slip command, and how to check the date. So these are just basic commands. Now another command. Actually, let's discuss a few more commands here. Okay. So here, how you actually in Windows, how you zip the file, how to create the zip files, or how to extract those zip files. Usually, you use the GUI, right? Graphical user interface. And if you have any zip file, .zip file, what you do, just right click. You should have seen any software for that, maybe 7-zip or something, and you can use that software to unzip those files. Correct? Let's
Yes.
say I want to make this here in Linux, there will be no zip file. This is called tar files, archive files. So if you want to archive the files in a one folder and you want to make the tar files, let's say my task is to I have thousands files. I have 1,000 files, and which is being stored by this directory. So I have one directory here. Let me show you the directory. Just data directory. In this data directory, let me tree here. Let me run tree command. So here I have few directories in few files. Let's say this directory one has file one, directory two has file two, directory three has file three. My task is to send you this complete what we call. So my task is to send you this complete directory to you. Okay. So how can you send that? There is two options. Either you can compress the files using tar files. So size right now, if I tell you the complete size for this folder, let me come out from here and let's see the size for this. What is the size for this data directory? That is 18 bytes, 18 bytes, right? 18 bytes. Now I don't want to use directly this folder. I want to make a tar file for this directory. So to make the tar file, it's similar to zip file, which you use in Windows, but in Linux, we called it as a tar files. Okay. So this is tar command is there. So let's use the directory name here. And what would be your destination name? So let's say data dot tar, data dot tar. I just want to create a tar file from this data directory so I can easily compress the size, or also I don't need to I don't want to send individual files. I want to send this complete directory to anybody in your team. So let's make it. I think there is something which I'm missing here. So let's use this help command this time. So tar will show you this help. So help is there. Now you can see here there are few options, or there are few examples are there. So what we need to use here, let me see that. So these are all options here. Okay, and these are the examples. So if you don't know about the commands, you can directly just use this examples also. So first example, basically create a archive.tar file from files. There are two files. Okay, for that you want to list all files in archive.tar, and another one is xf, which will extract the all files. but we want to make the tar file here. We don't want to extract or we don't want to list the files. So to do that, let's use the same option here, but this time actually I just use it. And the first you should use this star and then name of the file. So this is the directory here. Still it is showing me uses. Okay, so one thing here, instead of using this data directory, what I have here, I have two files here, file 1, file 2, and I want to make a tar file from these two. So to make the tar file, let's say file dot tar, so file dot tar, and the name of the file which you want to include here. So first is text file, file 1 .txt, and file 2 .txt. Right. And then you have to use the options as well. So what I can use here, see the example, just go with this blindly. CF. Okay. So CF basically to creating the tar file from the files. So see, you can also see this option here. What do you mean by C? C means creating. Means creating a new archive. And F means, let's see, what do you mean by F here? So F is also be there. F means files name. So you are making it from files. Okay. So that's, and also if you have any directory, you can just search it for that, and you can see is there any option to create a tar file for directories. You can see that there will be options. Okay, there are more options, and it is not possible to cover all options here, but you can just do practice to your own, and you can you can come to me with your queries if you have anything. So let me do that. Okay? So now let me use -c and also F and make a tar file. So right now you see you are not getting any error and all. So I should get one file here that is called file.tar, and let me see the size of this tar file. So the size of this tar file is 10 to 40. This is the size for this file. Okay, now let me just see ls -add. So because this tar file which we created it from the files, there are two files. Still you don't have any data, but it is making tar files. So let me list it. So how to list how many files are there? So for that actually we have this option again, that's called TBF. So I'll just use this option here. And it will list you the files, whatever you files you have. So we have one file, and which has 55 bytes, and that's file name, and another file which is 0 in size, and file 2.txt, which we created this time on 17th, and another file which we created on 14th. And who's the owner and group, you will see all detail about this. Okay, so this is the way to create the tar files. Let me show you the creating the tar file for this directory as well. So if I just use -c option here, and data dot tar, and let me use this data directory here. So you will see here at 6, yeah, so it will show you how many files, whatever files we have right inside that. So it is not taking all those files. Okay, and the reason here is permission. So what I can just use -f option. So it will forcefully create the tar file for data directory, and it is already created. Now let me show you that hyphen tar tcf and just tvf tvf. We want to list out whatever there is inside this data.r, and it will show you all these files: data, AIR 1, AIR 2, AIR 3, and the file 3, file 2, and file 1. All these data will be shown here, and you can also see the size. So the size also will be there. Minimum size, actually whatever you create with the files, so minimum size at least will show you around whatever the size you will create. So this is the 10 to 40. Like if you don't have any files inside this start file, still it will show you the same size, because it is already decided by the Linux environment. You will see this minimum size, but it depends if you have any large file which has large data. So what you can do here, you can just you will see the differences between the size also later. Okay, now this is okay. So we have done this. Now what I'll do here, I'll just delete it. I'll just delete this uh, data directory, and I deleted it. I have already explained you what's the command to delete: rm-rf and directory name. So right now there is no data directory. Let's extract that data directory from this tar file which we used. So to extract any tar file, so we have to use tar hyphen t c p f, okay, and data tar file. So I think I'm missing something here. Let me use help command again. See, no one can't actually remember all these commands. So you should have the way how to actually get the help directly from the terminal. So this is the option XF. Actually, I was missing this X option here. So let's use this app X option as well. So I'll just remove it. X option. So right now, I'm extracting it, and you will see one data folder will be there. And if I just see that data folder, okay, you will see all these files again, right? So it means, what is the benefit of making the tar files? So it's easy to send to anybody. Let's say you are in my team, and I want to send you this file. I can directly send you to as there are some protocols actually we can use to send any files to anybody, okay, so that I can use that directly the star file, and then you can extract it and you can use that. Got it? So any doubt till now whatever discuss for today's?
No, sir.
All right, so also if you are thinking like whether you can use the zip command or not, so here in Linux system you can use zip also. So the thing is, why we use zip? To compress the files, okay. So we can use here, let's say let me tell you, okay. So if you want to make a zip file from the directory of files, you have to use zip commands, and if you don't know the options, I can tell you with the help command. So I think in Linux, it depends totally what operating system you are using. So here it seems zip is not supporting to the CentOS, but Ubuntu has zip. Yep. Let me just see. So I have few files here. Either I can try to download it. So yum install zip. So it will search for that zip folder. and I can just download it. It's like a package. Okay. So once it will be downloaded, and now you will be able to use that. So I'll try to use it with the help. Yes. So now I'm getting it. Okay. So it means you can use the zip now to make the zip file for the directories or for the photo files. Okay. So I have one data directory here, and data directory has few files and directories. Okay. And I want to make a zip file for that. So I can just use data dot zip, and what is the data name? So I'll just use this data. So right now you can see that stored 0%. And let me see this. Yeah, data dot zip is there. Let's see the size. So data dot zip has size 160. 160 is the size for this zip file, which is lower than, or which is less than to this tar file. Okay. So it's better to create zip file if you want to compress the size for the directories or for the files. And if you want to, uh, if you have, lots of files which you want to make a tar, so you can use tar also, which you can extract it like with a tar command. Yeah. So this zip file is created now. Okay, and I want to unzip this, so you can use unzip also. So I'm not sure whether this is exists or not. Yeah, it's not there, right? So similarly, in the same way which we install zip, you can install unzip also. Now you can try to run it. Unzip, and what was the name of the zip file? Data zip. So archive will is there. So again, I mean, it's there already. So data is there. So you can see this tree data. I'll show you all these files, whatever the files are there. So unzip, zip, tar, and how to untar, and yeah, processes we have already discussed. So these are the commands you should know regarding how to manage the files, how to archive the files, and how to extract the files as well. Okay. Now coming to the next command topic there. So let's say you want to check for the Linux system. You want to check how much memory are being used for this Linux, or how much CPU are being utilized by the processes. So I said top command is there. So you just run top here, and it will show you the complete detail about your server or Linux machine, whatever wherever you are running it. So coming, let's understand from the top to bottom what are there. So these all called processes, which we also saw in ps-aux command, and how much CPU, how much memory are being used by these processes. You will see here. Okay, and in the top below, above that. Okay, so you will see that there is a 87 total processes are there which are in the sleeping mode. One processor is the running state, and 89 total tasks are there. Okay, and zero stopped, zero zombie. Okay, zombie basically are the processes. For basically there are actually two type of processes in there, and we can see multiple type of process, but let me tell you only two type majorly: parent process and child process. So whose parent processes are dead, that's called zombie processes. Okay, don't go in deep. Okay, right now we are not actually doing administration, Linux administration. But thing is, what are zombie processes? Whose parent processes? Parent process means there is one more PPID, that is called parent process ID. So if one process create another process, that's called parent process ID or parent processes. which create another process that is called child process. So child processes and parent process will be there, and if your parent process is dead before being dead, before deleting or before terminating the child process, so that process will be called as a zombie process. And CPU percentage you can see here, and these are IDs and all. These are all things, and the memories also. So total memories are there, how much are being utilized, how much are free, okay, and how much is in use. So all these things we will see here, right? So this stop command is very useful, and you will mostly you will if you are playing around the Linux environments, so definitely it will really help you to get the detail about the processes, memories, CPU percentage, memory percentage, okay, and how much processes, total processes, and all. Now, uh, yeah. So the thing, okay. So now let's understand how to actually see how many disks are there. Disk means it's like a hard disk. So in if you are using Windows system, what you check? You check your C drive, D drive, right? F drive, like that. Similarly, in Linux environments, if you have any disk, okay, if you have any disk attached to this server, you will see those disks. Okay, how to check those disks? So F disk is the command. F disk is the command, but you have to pass the options with this F disk command. So let's say I want to check F disk, and there is one option which I can pass here, -L list. So I want to list. So you can see here F disk will show you disk. There is a one disk that's called SGA, which are in the size of 21.5 GB total. And if you calculate in the byte, and this would be the byte, okay, and this is the sector. So we are just okay to understand like how much size is there. So right now, if you see this one and two below at last, right? So this is our main disk which we are using. That is in the size of 19.8 GB G, and this is the starting and this is the ending for this byte, right? And if you want to check this disk in the Google Cloud, so whenever you create a VM instance, just click on this VM instance, and here is the disk detail will be there. So let me show you that. Yeah, so this is the one. So this is the disk, boot disk, and 20 GB. As I said, it will be 20 GB, right? So similarly, we are seeing here, same we are seeing here, 20 GB in the size. So 20, it will not show you the exactly, but this is the size actually. Whenever you mount this to the Linux systems, it will be the size 19.8 GB will be there. I can also attach another disk as well, but this time I do have this only, this one. Okay, there is one more actually command. So df-h, let me use capital H. Okay, so this will also show you the disk sizes. So I have one disk which is attached to this one, that is called that is the one SDA and SDA2. There are two disks. So right now this is the 22 GB and this is the 210. I have not created this. So it was created by the Google for this instance. I just use this 22 GB size. It's showing me 20 GB, but yeah, this is the 20 GB size only. Yeah. I can attach externally. So for that, actually, I can use small h option. So small h option basically will show you in the human readable format. So human readable means whatever the exact size is there, you will see that exact size. So this is called 20 GB disk, which is mounted to this direct mounted to this VM, and this is the size 20 GB size. So df-small h will show you the all detail in the human readable format. And if you are thinking what are these else, like what are these other than apart from this SDA, SDA2, so these are called temporary disk, also, temporary disk, and it is actually being managed by this Google. Okay, so we don't need to take care about this all. Okay, so we are not responsible to manage these all. We are just responsible to manage this disk here. So SDA, if you delete this disk, right, whatever data you actually create or store, whatever files or data you created, it will be stored in this SDA2 only. Okay, and if you don't want to use that, you can unmount it from here directly. From here, actually, you can unmount it. You can use another disk. So this is the another option you have. Okay. So the command is to check the disk is bf-h small h. It will show you that. And if you want to only check the memories, how much total is there. So you can see free. You can run free command, and free command will show you total memory in byte and how much it is being used, and how much it is free. Okay, how much it is free and available. Okay, so this buffer size, buffer cache size, shared, how much can be shared with another instances. So all these. So just here you see this three column, total, used, and free. So this is important here to understand. Now, what else we left with? Just, uh, there is one more command, TU. So TU basically will show you the directories for the complete files which is used. So TU hyphen H here is the H is there. So it is in human readable format. So 56 KB data you have right now. So all data will be in the 56 K size in this home directory. Okay. So if you want to see the data size in KB, you can see that. Then okay. So now there are two things. Let's say if you want to check the IP, let's come to the networking commands. So to understand the networking commands, there are few commands which is really important to understand. So let's understand those. So let's say my first task is to check the IP address for the system. So you can run if config here. If config is the command, will show you the IP address of the system, and this is the internal IP address. This is the Ethernet 0. Ethernet 0 is it's a your Ethernet which is connected to this VM instance. Okay, network. We called it network. So this is the network, and it is attached to this VM from the Google cloud side. So whenever you create an instance, right? Let me show you that. So in the instance detail, come to Glow, and here you will see this network interface card NIC, and NIC has this IP address 10.128.0.2. We are using IPv4 address. I mean, in the CIDR ranges, and this is the network interface card which is attached to this VM, right? The same Ethernet 0 I'm seeing here, and this is the same interface card which shows you this IP address and a net mask, and this is the broadcast IP address, right? And these are some packets which we don't need to take care of right now. So I'm just showing you how to check IP address. Okay, and another one, this another column or called it another block. So this is called loop back. So loop back, LO means loop. Okay, so it's a loop address. and that loop address is 127.0.0.1. This is called local host address as well. Local host means, let's say you want to connect your applications internally without going outside, and you also want to verify whether your application is running or not. So you can use this loop back address, and this is called 127.0.0.1. Okay, and also you can use directly localhost instead of this. That is called DNS name. DNS. Okay, DNS name would be there, so you can just connect to the DNS name directly. Okay, so let's see how to check whether your instance is having connectivity to the internet or not. How do we check? So to check that, we have a command, ping command, ping, and let's say to check the Google. So I'll just type the DNS name for Google, google.com, google.com, and I'll check whether I'm able to connect to the Google directly or not. So once you will run this command, it will show you a few packets will be running, few packets will be transferred. So I'll just show you, see this. So it means all these packets are transferred. I'm getting the response from the Google. Okay, and you can see 0% packet loss, and 4 packets are received because I use C4 for number of packets, and all these are packets which are connected to that internet. And this ping command which we are using, it uses this ICMP protocol. ICMP is the type of protocol like you have HTTP protocol, HTTPS protocol. Similarly, this ICMP protocol also is there, which actually used by the ping commands. Okay, so I just use this. That's why you are seeing this ping, and 64 bytes from this. This is the DNS name from where actually it is being connected. So Google has this DNS and backend. Like there is a one server of Google where they have multiple instances, and these are all instances IP address 74.1.5. So right now, whenever I just try to ping it, so the response is actually we are getting from this instance of the Google. If I try it again, you might see different IP here. So 173.194.195. This time it was connected to this different server. Okay. Similarly, if you try to do it again, so you might see different IP. But this time we are seeing only the same IP because we did not take any gap. There was minimum time interval or gap by running this command. So right now we are getting response from the same address. How actually you check your what is your DNS name, or your server DNS name or something. So to check that, you can always just see directly what is the host name here. So my host name is this one, CentOS VM. If I try to ping my same server from the same network, so let me try that. What do you think? Should I connect? Should I be able to connect or not?
So what is DNS, sir?
DNS is called a domain name system. So every system, every server has particular DNS name. Let's say you have one name that is called your name, and in your home, in your house, somebody will be calling you in different name, right?
Okay.
So you have particular name through then with that name, all our world will call you with that name. So similarly, each server has their own name, DNS name. That's called DNS name, domain name system. So one DNS server has the entries of all. Let's say my IP address is this one. So my IP address is this, and this IP address I can just make a connection between this IP address to my DNS name. So right. So if let's say my system has host name the CentOS VM, okay, and I try to ping it here, so you will see that I'm able to ping it. So because this is DNS name for me, I can call this DNS, but you actually can't connect with this name because Okay, DNS name you are not. So google.com. Okay, google.com.
Yeah.
Anybody in the world called google.com. So google.com is a DNS name.
Okay.
But backend, in the backend, they have particular servers, IP addresses, which they map those IPs to the DNS name. So I tell you what is the IP address for google.com. So the IP address is 8.8.8.8. You can directly ping this also. So you will see the response from Google only. So you will see the response from Google only with this also. So this is the IP for Google. That is. You don't have any knowledge in networking, Aditya?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir.
Okay. So I think
So actually, I talked to my uncle. Sir, like he asked something about. I told him that I'm learning Linux, and so he asked something about networking, some questions, but I couldn't answer. Uh,
what was the question? Any
uh,
idea?
no, sir. Like I told I was still in the basics, so he told I'll talk. Like we'll discuss about this later.
Yeah. Okay. So because I think what I'm getting from your end, you don't have much knowledge in the in the networking side. So you even don't know what is the port numbers we use for the HTTP HTTPS.
No, sir.
No. Okay. So I think we have to take it from basic and networking also. So networking is not there. So are you learning from networking somewhere? Like, can I suggest you some videos you can go through that? Or
Yes, I can do that,
hmm?
sir. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. So what I'll do, just I'll bring you the YouTube. There is one YouTube channel
Okay.
which will clear your basics in networking. At least
Okay.
you go through that, okay, and then you will understand this networking concept here. So you need to understand like what is DNS is, what is the IP addresses, what are the classes for IP addresses, what is host names, what are the IPv4, IPv6, what are the protocols, and what are the port numbers are used by the applications. So these are just basic, but Linux I'll cover, but just go through this basic and networking. I thought like you would have basic networking concepts
No, sir.
clearly.
Actually, I am not from IT background, but that's what, sir. It's okay, sir. I'll watch the videos if I can. I
Hmm.
think I can do it, sir. If I'll have any doubt, then I'll ask you. Like that's better. Like I
Sure,
can. Yeah, means like I can manage both things. It's okay, sir. You can just share me the things. I can. If I have any doubt, then I'll ask you, sir. Then it'll be easy
sure,
for you.
sure, sure. Yeah, that's totally fine because see the thing is if we cover it from that label, right? So I don't know how we will be able to complete it in the within time period or not. So that's my concern is okay. I don't have any other concern, but otherwise it will take a long time to cover, maybe 3 months or 4 months. But that I don't want actually. So it's better to go through those videos. And if you have any doubts, let me know. And then we will discuss this networking concept in the Linux after going through that videos. So you can just come to me and ask me questions if you have anything. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me share this history as well.
Actually, he asked something about port numbers only, sir. I mean, like he asked how to manage port numbers or something like regarding port numbers only. I think he asked, sir. But I said I am not sure. So he said we'll discuss it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. So my port number actually, that's why I'm asking. No. So basically, you don't have knowledge of networking side because each application, whenever you run, they runs on particular port numbers. And let's say I'm running Nginx. So Nginx uses 80 port numbers. And how you actually check those port numbers in Linux? So the command we can use for port number checking, that is called netstate. Netstate. So netstate, and there are few options which you can pass. Let's say I want only TCP. TCP. You even don't know what is TCP UDP.
No, sir.
Okay, you don't have much. Okay, fine, that's fine, because I think you have to clear your networking basics. What is TCP? What is UDP? Okay, and then I think you will understand. But let me tell you. So this is the command netstate -tnlp, which will
Mm.
show you what are the port numbers are being used by the system. And this 22 port number, it is being used by this service that is called SSHD. And whenever you see this state listen, it means it is being used by this service, and which has PID, that is 1001. And similarly this one also. So we have this TCP 6. So you don't go there. TCP, what is this difference? But we have majorly two types of protocols. You see this proto means protocols. TCP means transmission control protocol. UDP means user datagram protocol. And these are the type of protocols in networking which will help you to send your packets and receive your packets from the source to destination. And this is receiving, and this is sending, and this is the local address for this, and this is the foreign address. Anybody can connect from outside on this address. That's called foreign address. And listen, and this is the ID. But yeah, that's fine. But you will get it soon. I think once you will cover this part, it will help you out. Yeah, I've shared the commands which I used today session. So simultaneously, we have discussed processes, how to check kill processes, and all. This also you go through that, and I'll share the links in the group itself.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay, so I think we are good now. So we'll connect tomorrow then, and meanwhile, just go through those links which I will share you. Okay,
Yeah, okay, sir.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.